Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Andy's Toolbox. Just rocking out in the garage. Some White Zombie, of course. This is a very special tool haul. This is a rites of passage tool haul. So for a while, I've been trading up Harbor Freight boxes, Craftsman boxes, outgrowing boxes, for a long time. And then God blessed me with this Cornwell rolling cart, which is great. It holds all of my everyday use items, sockets, you know, wrenches, picks, all that good stuff. Torque wrenches, basically everything I use to work on my own vehicles goes into this box. On the other side of my shop, I've had a Craftsman, their new, piece of shit line that Stanley has been making. Okay, so I got that box. Okay, first of all, the casters on that box were held in place with deck screws. I drilled them out and put actual bolts in there. Okay, that fixed the safety risk of loading it down and having it, tip over and break. Okay, so I load it down and, okay, of course, all the drawers, because it's made out of such thin gauge steel, all the drawers, scrape. You open them and they go, they scrape on the bottom, the next drawer down. They're garbage. It's junk. I've hated the box ever since I got it. The only thing it does is look pretty, and that's where my love affair with that box ends. So, I've come upon some money, in recent days and recent times. So, I kind of, I've been buying tools and whatnot, and of course, tools are always a good purchase, but I've was looking around, for at toolboxes. I always kind of, lurk around, looking at toolboxes and stuff, just because I know I can't afford a good one, and I have a crappy one. So basically, I was looking around at toolboxes, and I actually found a toolbox that, was close enough, not too far, that I can actually, go down to Home Depot, rent a flatbed truck, and get to my house. So I worked out I contacted the guy, and he seemed like a nice guy. We got to talking, and we worked out an arrangement where I could pick the box up for $950. So I do the math: $950 plus a day rental for the Home Depot flatbed and gas. So we're looking at, you know close to $1,200. So that was something I could do. So I'll, I'll clip to the box I got, and what I had to do to it to get it how it is now. So I'm gonna clip to that right now. So here's the box. Okay, it's a 1980s snap-on KRA, I do believe, 20-inch deep, 56-inch wide, 16 drawer double bank cabinet. Okay, so you're probably asking myself, well, for $1,200 you could have got a brand new Series 3 US General or something like that. Well, let me go into some of the story on this box. Okay, so I got this box, and I could see it was very dirty from 40 years of just literally not being cleaned at all. Okay, you can see there is paint, marks, chips. I mean, it is in rough cosmetic condition. But, I got my Volkswagen here. Look at my Volkswagen. You know, got this car, in pretty in the same basic condition, but I fixed it up and it's a nice car now. See, I see stuff like this box and I see potential. You know, now going back to the box, I've never had a snap-on box. I don't know anything about snap-on boxes. All I know is that they're supposed to be really good. Okay. When I got this box, I was expecting it to just be a brand name with a decent build quality. For 1980s, I wasn't expecting much for a 1980s box, but whoa, buddy, was I in for a surprise? This box is the best built box I have ever been into contact with. I've seen icons. I've played with icons at the store. I've seen the Series 3 US Generals. I got that Cornwall cart, which I would compare to an icon in quality. And man, this box, boy, was this fucking box hard to load onto the truck. I had got this box off by myself. Thank God that the Home Depot truck came with little ramps, and I slid it down on blankets, and I tipped it up by myself, which was like basically deadlifting 300 pounds. And that's just from one side. This box, and that was with all the drawers removed except the bottom ones, because the bottom ones don't come out. This one does come out. Basically, all the drawers come out except that one is a ball bearing slide, and I couldn't figure out how to get it out. The rest of the drawers are these friction slides. I just greased that and lubed it, so it's all greased and lubed. All the drawers are greased. And this box is the best built box I have ever come across. This freaking box weighs, I'd say, over 500 pounds, bare and empty. This box is so much better than the Craftsman box. It doesn't sag. I mean, this box is rock solid all day long. So happy and I would say for the price I paid, I got, way better than I would have got at Harbor Freight. So all you Harbor Freight junkies out there, tears in your beers, because you're wrong in this case. My money was better spent on a Snap-on toolbox. So this box, as you can see, it's cosmetically bad. But if you think it looks bad now, boy, you would say, Andrew, you really do have an eye for foresight, with things, and an eye for stuff like that. Because man, you would have looked at this box and said, dude, I don't even want it, because I don't want to clean it up. I mean, it was literally swimming in grease, like every single drawer, everything, everywhere. It was so bad. It was like, my dad was a diesel mechanic, and he had like this exact same box, and his box was the same way, man. I hated going into his box. He took shit care of his box, and it was swimming in grease just like this one. This reminds me so much of my dad's box. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so I cleaned it up. I got it off the truck and deadlifted it basically by myself. Man, I drove down to Lake Elsinore, which is about, an hour away from me, from where I live, with the truck. It wasn't too bad. I paid about $40 in gas money. So yeah, that was all good. It had some big dents. As you can see, I drilled that and pulled it because it was so bad. There's another one back there with 3 or 4 smaller holes because it was a crease on the corner, and I pulled that. I'm gonna weld that up, and I'm thinking, just weld that up and just leave it as it is. This box tells a story, man. This was somebody's livelihood for 40 years. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I paint it? Should I paint it? I was thinking red, and gray for the top, just this black portion. It has the upgraded vise mount that Snap-on came out with in the back. I could mount the vise. I don't know. But I think this box tells a story. I honestly, if it's held up this long without any paint on it, I don't see any reason why it won't hold up for the rest of my life without any paint on it. I loaded it up with all the shit that was in my Craftsman box. I'll run you through the drawers real quick. Got some stuff in here. This is all my body work stuff, guys. This is all my body work stuff. Everything in here is basically for body metalworking. This is where I am at most of the time in my shop. You know, having that Craftsman box and working out of it was not helping my ego as far as, you know, files, big horse files. These fuckers are big 16-inch horse hoof files. Those are great. Got those for steel. You know, big wrenches, big Cornwell wrenches. That whole roll is filled with wrenches. This is about as close as you're gonna get to a toolbox tour for me. I'm not big on the toolbox tour. Just got my spray shit, spray paint, spray gun stuff. Wrench run over from my other drawer. 6-point Protos. Those are probably my favorite wrenches I have. Not big on toolbox tours, guys. I'm just gonna show you how I loaded the drawers out. I'm not going over anything. This thing is cool. You guys probably want to see that. That's a, let me open that up. That's a vintage Nicholson flexible body file. This thing is awesome. They don't make them like that anymore, guys. They just don't. They don't make them like that no more. That thing is like near and dear to my heart. Sorry. Running through this drawer, this is all demolition shit. Striking drivers, bodywork stuff. Well, this is where I'm at most of the time on this side of the shop because I don't do much mechanic work, more metal work, body hammers. This is about as close as you're gonna get to a toolbox tour. This is basically my toolbox tour because I don't do mechanic work. It's welding hammers, rubber hammers, all that jazz, welding gloves. Just gonna run you through the drawers real quick. Hardware, gotta have hardware stuff. These are my favorite washers, these Nord locks. Those are excellent. Mac stuff, little Mac files. This is the little files. You know, it's right catty corner to the big files. So that's all organized and on the same. Pliers, this is room to grow. Lots of pliers. Pliers. Got more body working stuff. This is my beautification and PPE. This drawer does open by itself. So I have these industrial strength magnets. These fucking magnets, okay? Once you put them on something, you have to stick a pry bar in here and fucking pull it off like that. This thing here, these magnets are so strong. I don't even know how those are legal to sell. They will literally rip your fucking finger off if you're not careful. So anyway, this drawer opens by itself. So I just put it more on the top part so that when I pull on it, it'll be easier to come off the bottom, and voila, keeps the drawer closed. Sawzalls, jack, tile shit. This is for cutting tile, buffer, caulking gun, all that jazz. And voila, that's what's in this box. That was all in my Craftsman box. Man, I had that box loaded, probably overloaded for the piece of shit box it was. Anyway, I wound up giving that box to my neighbor. I just gave it to him, you know. Asked him if he wanted it and just gave it to him. Didn't even try to sell it. I wouldn't wish that box on somebody for money. Anyway, paper towel. I did keep the paper towel holder I had on that box, though. That thing's cheap. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get notified if you love tools and you like talking about tools and all that jazz. Okay, guys, this was a big one for me. I finished my car, my Volkswagen. It's all done. Everything on this car is new. Everything on this car is new. The interior is, I left like shit, but I don't really care about the interior. It's mechanically sound. It's got new gas tank, everything. Everything on this car is new. So, rite of passage, guys. You build your first car, you build your first bike, you actually finish it, and then you get yourself an actual decent quality legacy toolbox, a good toolbox. And I can't stress you guys, this is better than an Icon. Don't let them fool you. There is a difference. I'm not just tooting my own horn here, guys. You'd have to be in person with this box to understand what I'm talking about. Just look at the weight alone. This box weighs over 500 pounds and it's only 56 inches. I don't see Harbor Freight replicating that. Anyway, guys, take care out there. Catch you next time.